All right. As many of you are aware, this presentation this evening is part of a series that we have put forth last month and this month on a portion of Jung's now increasingly famous Red Book, and that portion is known as the Seven Sermons to the Dead, or Septem Sermones ad Mortuos. This was the only number of pages of the Red Book material that Jung had ever permitted to be published, and they were published privately in the 1920s. And on the screen you see the front page with the inside page of that little book that Jung had published on the Seven Sermons to the Dead, which we did not know actually until just quite recently was really a part of the Red Book. The picture that you see there is my copy of the original booklet, because it's really quite small, which was sent to me as a present by Carl Jung's son, the late Franz Jung, with his inscription in appreciation of my book, which I wrote on that subject in 1983, the Gnostic Jung and the Seven Sermons to the Dead. Now, at the present time, since the publication of the actual Red Book of Jung, we have access to the text as it is found in the Red Book itself, with very wonderful and often extensive commentaries of Jung, many of which are attributed to his, well, how should we put it, his interior spiritual guide, Philemon. And now this Seven Sermons to the Dead appears in a very different and a very new light, and is really extremely exciting material, and it is fairly generally agreed to be the summation, the heart and core of the essential worldview, the psychocosmology of the Red Book. So if you want to get the heart and the soul of the Red Book, you may find that in the latter part of the book, in the third part of the Red Book called Scrutinies, where the Septem Sermones ad Mortuos, which is the Latin title, are to be found. And we are now at the end of our consideration of these sermons. But what we will particularly present this evening, after I give probably a fairly brief treatment of the last and seventh sermon, is a design which many of you who have come here throughout this series, of course, have seen before, because we had the design here for display, which once again, I know that all these Latin titles probably bother you, but I can always readily translate them, which is called the Systema Mundi Totius, the system of the entire world, and which is a diagrammatic mandala of Jung's psychocosmology, which he had drawn, and which is published in the appendix of the present Red Book. And this design serves principally as the illustration of the content of the Seven Sermons to the Dead. But in many ways it really represents the symbolic system of reality both external and internal, or as Jung calls it, macrocosmic and microcosmic, of reality. And we will look at the grand design itself, which we have up there now, and then we will look at various portions of it in order to see them perhaps more clearly because of the magnification than we might have previously. But first, in order to introduce these illustrations, I will deal with the last, and in many ways it's also the shortest sermon of the 7 sermons, which is very descriptive, really, in many ways paradigmatic of the entire material.